Hey everybody, so I'm about to start the readathon. I woke up kind of late. It's 12:22 now. Yeah, I'm really tired because my husband and I had the idea last night that we should stay up late and eat popcorn and watch Sailor Moon. So that's what we did. And yeah, it was fun, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm late to the readathon and it starts at noon. So yeah, I'm making a strong pot of coffee right now and I'm going to be starting on I'm not sure what I should choose. I guess I will start with Wild Calm. I think so. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with Wild Calm. It doesn't seem too complicated, and yeah, I'll read that when I'm sipping my coffee, and I'll come back and update you guys on how it goes and what I thought about it. Okay, so it's about almost 3 o'clock, and I just finished reading Wild Calm by Yumi Tamura, and I really enjoyed it. It was really inspiring and awesome. I love her artwork, and just her storytelling ability is really great. So this is a collection of 3 short stories, and the characters on the cover. This is Michiru Ozeki. This is Amano Yokozuna, and he has the power to control water, and she has the power to control fire. And this guy is Kurosu. That's the only name you get for him. And I don't want to spoil what he does because it's kind of a spoiler, but yeah, it was very interesting. They're in the first short story in this collection, and pretty much it's about people who have these powers that they're going to try to use their powers to help other people, and I thought that was really cool. And also just helping Michiru get through her anxieties about having this power because she doesn't really understand it herself and things like that. So here are a few pages that really stood out to me. So I really liked this page here, and it takes place at an art school. I'm not sure why it's not focusing. My camera. Focus. Oh well. Hopefully it's not too blurry. So yeah, it takes place at an art camp during the summertime. And then yeah, it's a really neat series. It's a really neat idea, and honestly, like, Yumi Tamura could have made this into a series if she had wanted to, and she talks a little bit about that in the postscript. So the second story is... Oh, actually, here's another page that stood out to me from the first story. And then, yes, so here is the second story. Rokugatsu no Kemono, meaning the Beast of June. The Beasts of June, plural, I guess. Kemono is beast, and Rokugatsu is June, and no just denotes that it's of, kind of. It's sort of how it's normally translated. And the ink work in this one is just amazing. I thought just the setup, like this is the first image you see, and then it just launches right into this really interesting comparison between a dragonfly and carnivores and herbivores. And this is basically a story about the main character, Aki, right here. And basically he considers himself kind of like a dragonfly, like a carnivore, and most people don't know that dragonflies are carnivores. That's what it says right here. And pretty much this is a story about gang wars. It's very brutal, and there's some brutal moments in this, like right here. Aki is killing this guy who's a drug dealer, and this girl sees him, and the girl's name is Akane, and they kind of start a relationship, and the romance in here is, it's kind of light, like it's kind of insta-love, but like, I don't know, both of the characters are so weird and kind of depressed that it kind of makes sense that they would be drawn to each other, I guess, because they're both kind of fed up with the world that they live in. Kind of start to become closer, and then there's like a twist ending that's really, really interesting. And also there's a third character named Yan, and Tamura explains at the end that basically the character's name is Yan because of Yanma, which is a type of Japanese dragonfly, and I thought that was really neat, and it just ties together very nicely by the end. The third and final short story is Hari no Me. So Hari no Me means the eye of the needle, and this is a somewhat horror type manga, type story, and once again the illustration is just gorgeous. I just love her like atmospheric stuff, and just, it's so pretty, and I love the way that she draws eyes. It's very soft, very like shoujo, but also kind of josei. Like, that's what I get. The feeling of her work is like a mixture of both, I guess. Like, there could be some shoujo tropes, but there are also a lot of things that would appeal to basically my demographic, josei. And basically in this short story, there's this main character, this guy named Shiki Habari, and basically he is a model, he becomes a model, and he's been dating this girl named Uiko. He's been dating this girl named Uiko, and basically she thinks he's gorgeous, and so she sent in a picture of him to a magazine, a fashion magazine, where they were asking people to show off their boyfriends, and so basically that photo gets him noticed by the modeling industry, and it basically becomes a horror story from there, and it's really fascinating. And there were so many, like one specific panel that really creeped me out, but I guess I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's interested in reading this. Like, I would definitely say pick this up, because it's one volume, it's filled with short stories, and you get a taste of what Yumi Tamura's art style is like, what her storytelling is like, and yeah, it's just fantastic. Like, I literally, it scared me. There's like this one panel that just freaked me out, because it's pretty terrible. But, so yeah, basically things get crazy in this. So there's like this ending thing. It's like a postscript for the manga where Tamura is just saying thank you for purchasing this and talking a little bit about her process of how she came up with these stories. And I really found it interesting that she basically brainstormed through making like 4-koma. And 4-koma are basically these type of manga. They're kind of like comic strips where it's just 4 panels. And these are very interesting, and I thought it was a really cool way to brainstorm because you don't have to think about panel layout at all. You can just keep going with it, and it's a pretty good way to just get ideas, just get your ideas out onto the paper. I'm definitely going to try out doing some 4-koma style comics, just in my sketchbook, just to see if I can like get some ideas out, because I do have ideas for stories and stuff. Although I wouldn't necessarily call my work manga unless I was, you know, making it for a Japanese audience, because I think that's what makes manga unique, and it makes it different, because manga specifically is something published for a Japanese audience. So unless I worked in Japan and was publishing my work in a Japanese magazine, monthly magazine or something like that, I would not call it manga. That's just my personal thing. And here's some of the ads in the back, and I'm actually pretty interested in this one. I was really happy with reading this, and I can see myself basically rereading this again and again. The next volume of manga that I'm reading, I'm not totally sure, because basically I need to take a break right now because my husband and I need to get to mass, and also I have responsibilities like I've said before. So I think I'm going to try to go ahead and start on the Mother Teresa manga, because I've been really excited about reading this, and I think reading it after mass, or yeah, after going to mass or on the way to mass would be a good idea. Wow, that's a really loud truck outside. So yes, this is what I'm going to be picking up next. Okay, so it's around 6 o'clock now, and I am nearly done with this manga about Mother Teresa, and I'm absolutely loving it, but I'll talk about it more when I finish it. But basically, when we came home, I got a package in the mail. I opened it, but I didn't actually look in, so I know it's a book of some sort. So this is volume 1 of Sarai. And yeah, so I'm extremely excited about this. I have volumes 2 and 3. And I found this one on sale, and I believe it was like $3.99 or something like that. And yeah, I'm super excited about reading this series. I used to own this volume, but at some point it got lost, and hopefully I will be reading this at some point. I don't know if I'll read it for this readathon, because I am pretty hyped now that I have the first volume. This is incomplete in English, but I'm still excited to read it, and the artwork is super inspiring to me, so that's the main reason why I wanted it in my collection. And I'm going to finish up Mother Teresa, and finally, like I had some coffee earlier, but I didn't eat any breakfast because, like I said, we were up super late last night eating popcorn and stuff, and I was a little bit hungry, but normally I don't want to eat before Mass, and so I did make some brown rice before, and what I'm thinking about doing is making possibly some curry or something stir fry to go with my brown rice, And then also I've got an idea for dessert because I saw that Shelf Space Bleeding on Twitter, she posted that her and Laura, I guess, made a cake for Tezuka's 90th birthday. And it was really, really cute, and they put Astro Boy on it, and it was super adorable, so I'll probably post that picture right now in the video because, oh, it's so cute. And then I'm going to be putting some mushrooms in there, and yeah. And that's brown rice that I made earlier. And I'll show you how it turns out. So I've added all the vegetables in with the chicken. And here's the rice, and I added some butter and the rest of the pad thai sauce. And I'll show you how it looks when it's done. So this is how it came out. Fried rice, chicken fried rice, and I've got some toasted nori on top. It was pretty easy to make, and I'm probably going to be making something a little bit later as well.